The Bible said that we need grace and mercy. Grace and mercy. Listen, there's a difference between grace and mercy. Grace gives me what I don't deserve. Forgiveness, acceptance, a clean slate, a new beginning. Grace is God giving me what I don't deserve. Total forgiveness. But there's a difference between grace, which is giving me what I don't deserve, and mercy. Mercy holds back what I do deserve. What's powerful is when you have grace and mercy working, where you have grace giving you what you don't deserve and mercy holding back what you do deserve, the judgment that you do deserve. God stands like he held the Red Sea back and says, pass on through. Goodness and mercy are following you. We'll hold it back. Goodness, you hold that side of judgment, and mercy, I'll hold this. And mistakes are the price we pay for a full life if we learn from those mistakes. The issue is not, are you going to be knocked down? The issue is if you're going to stay down. Mistakes are the catalyst to the miraculous if you will put them in God's hands. Don't let mistakes destroy you. The adversity wants to mock you for the rest of your life for the mistakes that you have made, and you have made them. But God can transform you through your mistakes to be what he wants you to be. And you may have made a mistake, but you are not one. You got to let that sink down into your soul when the enemy's beating your brains out, telling you're trash, you're stupid, you're nothing. How could you be so dumb? How could you mess your life up so bad? You may have made a mistake, but you are not one. You may have failed, but you are not a failure. You may be down, but down is not your destiny. God still has a plan and a purpose and a great thing that he's going to do, because he's got great grace for great mistakes. I'm not advocating go out and make mistakes so you can find out more about God's grace. I'm just telling you what the devil means to destroy you with and imprison you with and defeat you with and humiliate you with. God says, I can put great grace on your great mistakes. And they become a doorway of possibility, a portal, an opening to discovery. Your mistakes are not final. Your failure is not final. That's why Nahum said, rejoice not over me, O my enemies. You'll see me mess up, but don't you start throwing a party and start rejoicing over me, O my enemies. For when I fall, I will rise again. Though I sit in darkness, it's not forever. His light will find thee again. Do not let failure become final in your life. It's not God's will. Hidden in every mistake is a portal, a possibility, a doorway of discovery to a greater revelation of his grace. God will never define you by your mistakes. People will, your critics will, your enemies will define you for the rest of your life by your mistakes. But your God will never define you by the worst mistake you ever. See, that's what people think, oh, that. But God says, even I am he that blots out your transgressions to remember them no more. I'll never define you by your worst mistake. Never will God do that. God, in order to conform us into his image, lets us fail because he lets us come to an end of ourself and our self-righteousness.
Self-righteous people love to hold up open windows to look out on everybody else. They rarely want a mirror to look at themselves. You know, Jesus has a way of always saying, no, don't look at them. I want you to look at you for a minute. And that's all Jesus was asking. He says, look in the mirror. You don't stand in a place to judge another person.
Don't join the devil's side. He's the accuser of the brothers. Don't define people when they fail and make a mistake by their mistake. Mistakes and failures do have consequences. There's no doubt about it. But they're not supposed to define your future. The devil desires to crush you for your mistakes and make you feel unworthy and make you feel worthless, when in reality you are a precious child of God. Right now, God knows everything about you, every mistake you've made, and if you've repented of that mistake, God says you're a precious child of God, but Satan wants to make you feel totally worthless.
We often think of grace merely as an unmerited favor, and it is that. A love undeserved, and it is very much that. But beyond that, grace is the joyful release of being known the way God knows us. And have you noticed that people have never been all that amazed about grace? I mean, we sing it, grace woke me up. Grace started me on my way. But for the most part, we're not all that amazed about grace. We rarely wake up in the morning jumping and shouting that grace woke us up this morning. Rarely do we go to bed, with tears and crying, thanking God that He kept us over the dangerous streets and watched over us. We're not amazed by grace. All of us have taken advantage of grace. Grace has come to us so many times, it's just expected. But we're not really amazed by grace. I wish we were. I wish that I was more amazed by grace. I study it, I read it, I know it in the Greek and the Hebrew and the Aramaic and the Latin. I know the names and the words of it. And even with all of that, I'm not all the time amazed by grace. Sometimes I just take grace for granted. I live by almost an idea of, you're supposed to do this, Lord. Kind of supposed to. You ever been like that? Yeah, you have, certainly. All of us, God, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to, Lord.
Abraham made a terrible mistake. Even though he made mistakes, God said, go on, move on. I'm still going to make you the father of faith. I know you messed up, but I'm not defining you by your mistake. You made a mistake, but you're not a mistake, and I'm going to use you for my glory. Jesus is saying to you, I haven't changed my mind about you. I haven't changed my mind about your purpose and your destiny. I'm telling you that I knew you would mess up, but I put great grace on great mistakes. If you'll just look to me, I'll never give up on you. I don't know who I'm preaching to, but somebody needs to hear this today. Your mistakes are not final. I am a child of God. I am called and anointed, and I'm gonna do what He's called me to do with more determination and boldness than I've ever done it before. Yes, I've messed up. Yes, I've made mistakes, but my mistakes don't define me. My Heavenly Father defines me, and He says, I am called, I am chosen, I am royalty, I am cleansed, I am washed. How about you? Give God a praise if you believe in great grace. Great grace.